Yeah, man. So, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome to Flim Flam Films. Like always, I'm Steven Mommy, and today joining me, like all the times,
Zane Wilson.
Zane Wilson.
You
Yes,
should have
very
said
good.
it's steamy like
Yeah,
always.
yeah. Yeah, when we go to edit it, it cuts a frame when I say my name. It's just like always, Steamy.
It's steamy. I might start calling you that now.
Steamy?
Yeah,
The steamy boy? Yeah.
Steamy mommy.
Like when I come out of a nice hot shower, I'm steamy.
Okay, so normally when we myself and my two roommates get back from practice in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually the last one to take a shower because
Nice.
because they usually have other things to go on or to go do,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm usually kind of lazy with it. I just wait.
Mhm.
I don't care about getting one first.
At least you take
And-
showers.
Yeah, I used to take really short showers, but now I started taking really long showers. It's kind of annoying to them, and I'm kind of feel bad about it.
Why? You're the last one taking a shower. It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, the rare time I do get in there first,
Oh.
but I've gotten better about it.
Yeah, that would be annoying. If you got the first shower, you can't take a long one.
Hmm. But you know how have you seen our bathroom? We have the
Yeah.
handicap bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, we have this little stool in the shower.
You just sit there?
No, when we first got in there, Seth used it a lot, and he would take really long showers and just sit there and just be like,
Yeah, he's got to
with the
think,
shower
man.
head.
He's got to think.
Hmm. But when Jake takes showers, it's like a sauna in there. I went in there. I went in there for something real quick this morning, and the whole room was filled with steam. I was like, God, it's so thick in here. And I was like, Jake, you okay? You're sure your skin isn't peeling off right now? He's like, Nah, man, this feels great. I was like, all right, cool.
Nice.
You do you.
That's how it is because I'll turn the shower on to heat it up, but I'll just turn it on max, and then I'll be like, well, I gotta take a poo or a shave or whatnot. And then when I open because you know how my shower is, it's an open door and everything stays in there,
Mhm.
hits you like a hot sauna, and I'm like, well, I can't touch the water yet, so let me just sweat it out before I get in. This is the best.
I'd like to take a shower, and your shower looks really nice.
It's a nice shower.
I also really like to sleep in your bed because I always wanted to. Well, not always wanted
Who
to.
doesn't want
Ever
to
since-
sleep in my bed?
Yeah, that's why, obviously. But when I saw that you had a purple mattress, I was like, oh, I've seen those on online and on TV and stuff like that.
And it's
when
true.
And when I put my hand on it, I felt it for the first time, and then I sat down. I was like, oh man, I gotta sleep in this thing. Somehow, I gotta.
Yeah,
try
the
it.
advertisements are real.
I'll just come over one night. And I'll be like, okay, Steven, I'm here for a sleepover, but you're sleeping on the couch and I'm sleeping on your bed. That's the only reason I'm coming.
I'd be like, no, Zane. We'll sleep feet to head.
Oh no, no, I don't want your clammy feet next to my
First
head.
off, how dare you say that about my feet? My feet are perfect. They're God's gift.
Perfect in what way?
All the ways.
No. I'm gonna have to.
Yes,
give a
they're
big
not.
no on
They're
that
not
one.
clammy.
It's-
My hands are the only clammy part.
That's a lie. Because you know how I know that?
How do you know?
Because when we're in class or when we're editing and you take your shoes off and spin your chair out, sometimes you accidentally touch me with your feet, and I can feel that they are cold and clammy.
See, I just think that's just what your skin takes to everybody, anytime.
No.
Yeah, anytime.
Why? Are you calling me not human?
Yeah,
It's actually
you're a robot.
I'm a robot. Well, that's the popular one. Lately, Jake and Seth have been saying I'm a vampire. Because when
You're too tan to be a vampire.
mhm. But when we went to, I can't remember if it was Chattanooga or Arkansas earlier in the season. On the way there, we left really early, so I think it was Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
But I can never find a comfortable position on those charter buses.
No.
It seems like everyone else but me can find a comfortable position and fall asleep.
Yeah, just
I
sleep
never
on the
can.
floor. That's the only way.
And I tried a bunch of different positions, and eventually I settled on my back facing the window, right? And so I just put my legs over the side of the chair, and they're just like at a 90-degree angle like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just laying back like this on the seat with my arms folded. It's just how I lay down on that particular instance. And then I laid like that for a while, and I thought I was comfortable, but as soon as I got up after like an hour or so,
shot.
my neck and my back hurt so much. And then later on, when we got back, I didn't realize that Seth or Jake took a picture of me, and they're like, yeah, dude, you're a vampire. And I was like, what? And they showed it to me, and I was...
Nice.
And then, so I guess sometimes when I'm sleeping, I just rest on or I flip and lay on my back, and I just lay very still.
Well, I mean, yesterday when I was sleeping, because I tried to get some sleep since I'm like on the verge of being sick, but I think I beat it because I don't have a sore throat and now it's just sinuses. Dude, I was so congested and felt awful last night to the point where like I don't sleep with a shirt on or anything, but I put a long sleeve shirt on. I woke up this morning, my shirt was nowhere to be found. I was like, what? What happened? And then I was like, it's time to die again. So I just got knocked out.
Well, it's only one of two things. Either you took it off while you were asleep, or you have a ghost.
It's probably a ghost, honestly.
Yeah, they want to see that sweet Stevie
Yeah, it's
chest.
like the you're right. You've seen Ghostbusters, right?
No.
Really?
No, I haven't. I never have.
Well, there's this scene after like they're starting to get famous
Mhm.
by like catching all the ghosts, and one of the main Ghostbusters, a ghost gives them a blowjob.
Okay, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But I've never seen
That's
it.
basically what it is. They just wanted to see me shirtless. I didn't get a blowjob, but they.
Oh, you know that
they
reminds
pulled
me
off my
of.
shirt.
I haven't seen Ghostbusters, but I've seen every scary movie except for the fifth one, the most recent one.
Yeah,
And then have you seen any of them?
I've seen some of them. Yeah.
So then the very first one that happens, but it's a guy ghost and a girl,
Yeah.
and it's kind of gross, but it's kind of fun. Sip some water. But
Brought to you by Great Value.
yeah, we should
Value. That's great.
we should watch that though, Ghostbusters,
Yeah, that's
since
good.
I've never seen it.
What's the next movie? I'm in the words of my newfound friend and fan. Shout out to Joe Paul. Next movie I think I'm gonna watch is The Irishman by Martin Scorsese.
Oh, dude, he would love it if you went with him. Well, I
It's
mean,
on
he probably would say
Netflix.
no.
Yeah, it's on
Oh,
Netflix.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not in theaters?
No, we're all gonna watch it. Then you can come over that night. You'll fall asleep during the movie because it'll be sitting on my mattress.
I don't know. I really just don't. Not that I think the movie's going to be bad, I just have no interest in seeing it.
Yeah, but sometimes those are the best movies. The ones you're not looking forward to. Because they hit you with that pow pow. The 1-2.
That always happens to me. Anytime, there's usually like, maybe like around 5 or 7 movies that come out per year that I'm like, oh, I really want to go see it that in theaters. 99% of the time I never do.
Yeah,
I don't know why, because I'm just like, oh, I want to go see that. And then when it comes out, I'm just like, yeah, I'll go see it later. And then a weekend, I'll go see it later.
Yeah, and then by the time you actually go, it's gone.
Well, no, I don't even go. I'm just like, oh, well, it's not in theaters anymore. It's okay, I can live with that. I don't know. I guess I wasn't that invested in it.
Yeah.
But that's with me with a lot of things in life.
Guess I
Honestly.
wasn't that invested.
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I cared. I mean, it's just a movie.
So we should talk about our meeting. Well, I'm gonna bring it up. So the other day I was at this party, and I met our first fan that I didn't actually know, and that, guys, to me was the highlight of the whole party, the best part of the whole day, right? So this guy on the team named Joe Paul, right? That's his whole name. You know,
Well, his name's
him?
Joseph.
Joseph.
But
yeah.
but we already have Joe, the other Joe on the team, so we call him Joe Pa.
Yeah, so he comes up to me and he introduces himself and he's like, "Hey, my name's Joe Paul. Who are you?" You know, because there's strangers there. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm Steven." And he loses his mind. He goes, Steven, Mommy. And I was like, great, another one, right? Because I'm thinking it's just bad stories or like bad reputation for being on the cross team. And I was like,
which is part of it.
which is yeah, I mean, it's always going to be part of it, I guess. But he's like, I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, I've heard so much about you, dude. And I was like, oh, all probably bad and good things, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of your podcast with Zane. And I was like, oh, that's a twist. And he's like, the episode of The Departed, I loved it.
I love The Departed.
I love Scorsese.
And he talks louder than that, but I don't want to like redline it too bad.
Yeah, and he's just like, are you excited for The Irishman? I was like, yeah, man, I actually am. And then he like looks over to Zane because Zane's there because I'm just talking to Zane at it, and he's like, what about you, Zane? And Zane goes, eh.
Yeah, he's like, saying, don't you love Martin Scorsese films? And I was like, yeah, they're good, they're okay. He's like, yeah, you know, like Goodfellas and Casino. I'm like, yeah, they're okay. I like them well enough. He's like, oh, they're so good.
Great kid. Shout out to Joe Paul for being a good fan.
Yeah, we love you, Joe.
I love you. Yeah, first First fan interaction.
Yeah,
Could not have asked for a better
I
one.
hope that made you feel a little happy.
It did. It gave me one glimpse of what emotion truly is.
Oh, also, was it 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago? When was it that I came over?
I was
Or when
Tuesday. Yeah, it was like
Good Tuesday.
3 nights. Yeah.
Yeah. So me,
Jay.
our friend Jason, Matthew,
And Adam.
Adam all went over to Steven's girlfriend's apartment.
Yeah.
And we played Smash Bros. And Tower Fall.
And Towerfall Ascension.
Towerfall.
Yeah.
I had a really great time.
Good.
Because I think I'm finally, even though I've only played Smash a handful of times. The first time I ever played it was when I was at my cousin's house in Arkansas for about 30 minutes. I played a practice mode in Brawl. I was like, this is okay. And then the only other times I played it were with you when you were staying with Given in his apartment.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, and
That sounds about right.
at first I didn't really enjoy it as much, but once I've gotten a little bit better.
The more you play with people, the better too.
I still struggle with jumping. That's the thing that kills me the most is I just jump off I jump up the edge or someone hits me off the edge and I can't jump back up onto it.
Now, let me interrupt you just real quick. The video feed has stopped. It's still recording, but the video feed has stopped on my end, so I can't see how big of a delay. So,
Let's go.
nice. But we'll just continue because it's still
Yeah.
recording. But I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all our
Yeah. But yeah, playing Smash, a whole lot better with friends.
So hey, so what'd you think of my my playing skills that night?
I thought you definitely got much better.
I won 3 matches,
Dude, I know.
I
it was
never thought that would
crazy.
happen. 2 of them were in a row.
I do want to say I was a little hurt that everyone was coming at me. All I was trying to do was play a little Sonic, spin around in my ball.
Well, because
jump in.
from what I could tell, even though I'm not that into Smash, it seemed very cheap what you were doing.
No, it's really hard to play Sonic because he kills himself a lot.
Okay.
And I play troll characters.
Well, that is a given. Yes, that you do have a history of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I played Mystery Game and Watch. I love
I
Mystery Game and Watch.
got so upset last time we played that, and you played Game and Watch, and you kept
Just
flipping the sausages and killing me.
But I also played Little Mac, and I also played some Banjo. I love Banjo. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I found like 3 or 4 characters that I really like.
Yeah, you were good with What's Her Face.
I like Zero Suit Samus.
Yeah.
I like Palutena.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
I like Isabelle or Isabella, the dog.
Isabel, yeah.
Isabelle and King Carol's cool. I just like shooting his big blunderbuss.
Yeah.
Still don't really know how to control him because sometimes when I press the attack button or the smash button or whatever it is, sometimes he'll shoot, but then sometimes he throws his crown. But I think I thought I didn't put in anything different. Why does he keep throwing his crown?
He probably hit like down B. I think that's his down B.
Is B the smash button?
Well, I mean, like
Or is it,
B is like his just regular blunderbuss, but down B is his
crown?
crown throw. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you don't have his crown, you can't fly up. So you don't want to throw his crown, really.
Okay. But anyway, my favorite is probably Zero Suit Samus.
Yeah, dude. All you do is jump around. I can't hit you at all.
Jump around. Oh yeah, because that's
Jump.
There was that one
around.
round. I think it was one of the ones that I won, where everyone was fighting each other, but I was in like just jumping up and down, trying to run away from everyone.
Nobody even knew you were there. Yeah, you had like all 3 stocks, and we were like, "What the heck?"
And by the time it was only like 2 or 3 of us left, everyone was like, "What, Zane?" No, Jason first point. It was like, Zane still has full stocks.
You won because it was like, so basically, Jason was Ridley, and I was Little Mac, and I basically said, "Screw you, Jay." Because everyone was ganging up on me like the previous round because I was playing Sonic and I was killing everyone. Got some wounds with Sonic, but he's like trying to get back, and I do Little Mac's side punch. So I smash attack him basically. He gets eliminated, and then since I'm Little Mac and I have 0 recovery, I just fall to my death, and I was like, worth it. And then I see that you have 3 stocks and I'm dead, and Jay's still. I'm like, as long as it's Zane and no one else.
Yeah, and another thing that when I first started playing with you, I was really annoyed. But even though I still lose a lot, I'm to the point now where like Smash is the only fighting game that like doesn't make me upset if I lose.
Yeah.
I enjoy it no matter what.
Yeah,
Most other because I might enjoy other fighting games more, but when I play Smash, like I don't take it that seriously. Well, like when I'm playing Mortal Kombat with you though, or if I'm playing Street Fighter or any other fighting game, Soul Calibur, I'm like I gotta win.
Towerfall, I think, was a lot of fun too, because nobody else had played Towerfall except for Caprice and myself. And I was this is what pissed me off so much, is like, I would sit there and I would try to teach you guys how to play, and I'd be like, guys, if you
just
dash
ignore you.
through the arrows, you'll catch it. And then like I'll dash through an arrow after explaining, and you'd be like, oh, how'd you do that? You're cheated. What the hell?
I never said that. I just forgot it was there. I never dashed. I was just jumping around.
Yeah, you cracked me up. Zane is literally like, for those of you that have played Towerfall, you basically have, for those of you that haven't, I mean, you basically start out with 2 to 3 arrows depending on what you're ranked in the group, and sometimes you even start out with a shield. And Zane would just run around until he would get all these arrows, and you can kill people by 2 ways: basically shooting them with an arrow or jumping on their head. And Zane would have like 6 arrows, and it would be him versus the last guy, and he would shoot all 6 of them nonstop.
Like a shotgun. That was my only strategy, was just unload as much as possible. And usually it worked.
Yeah, I mean, I that's one of my favorite games to play, and everyone started to like it after the end when they actually figured it out.
Mm-hmm. It still didn't make me as frustrated as Gang Beasts, though.
Gang Beasts is a lot of fun, though. If I had my PlayStation, we would have played that for sure. I love Gang Beasts.
It is really fun.
Because there's no skill to it except for knowing the basic controls, and then it's all literally cuckery and luck.
So it is fun. I haven't played that in a while.
We need to play it.
We haven't played WWE together since like sophomore year or before.
Yeah, we need to play that too, because that's also a great game.
Yeah, we need to get Jay Strong to come over and we can play it with him too. Get everybody over.
Dude, Jay Strong and Jay and everybody. Then we can do like tag team matches and stuff. It'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so do you remember when I was telling you last time that I started playing Call of Duty Zombies again?
Yeah.
Recently. So now I still played a little bit. I played it like once today. I got tired of it though. Have you ever played any of the Battlefield games?
Mm-hmm.
Which ones?
I played, I think 5. No, not 5. I played the one before 5. So 1. And then I think I played the first one that was on the new gens. So I think it might have been 4. Okay. 4 or 3. Yeah.
It was 4 because 3 came out in 11.
Yeah. See, I do like Battlefield just because in shooting games they snipe. But let me tell you what. That's the only thing that pisses me off about this new COD, man.
What? Last time you said that's the one thing you enjoyed.
No, this is why it's making me mad, because people will be running around with the AUG scope on a sniper rifle. Mm-hmm. So it's like the basic like up close scope. And then since like I crossplay, right? So I play with a bunch of my buddies that are on Xbox. Mm-hmm. But if you crossplay, you can't turn off like crossplay between like us and PC. So I've been getting in a lot of matches where it's like us playing, me and Xbox, and then we'll have like 5 people squatting up, and then we'll play a match, and it'll be 5 people all on PC clicking point. And let me tell you, brother, I don't know how they see me. There was literally one time that like nobody in my party, like I was final death, and I was sitting in a bus, and literally when it shows you the replay of him killing me, you can't see me on the screen at all. We're like, what's going on? That doesn't make any sense. You literally could not see me. So I was getting upset with that. And then like I switched to, if I'm not using a sniper rifle, because like my loadout I have like a double like overkill. So I have the sniper rifle and then I have a shotgun for up close, because I need something to actually get kills with if I'm not picking people off. Because right now everyone wants to be playing search and destroy or cyber attack. Cyber attack, search and destroy just with revives.
Okay.
Love that. I'll get like 2 quick picks depending on the map, and then I'll just be like, I have nothing to do. Nobody wants to snipe me anymore. And then I'll run around with a shotgun and be instantly dropped by a submachine gun in the back. Because I suck at running around. That's why I snipe, because I can be like, as long as nobody hits me from behind, bang.
Dude, that's always been my strategy, is just run and gun.
Yeah, see, I'm terrible at it. So I just sit and I'm like, as long as I see him first, bang. Which has killed me a lot recently, because I'll be like running around with my shotgun and I'll see somebody cross map, and by the time I switch to my sniper, somebody just shoots me from the side and I go flying.
I also like to imagine just something even more embarrassing. Someone just comes up behind you and just goes,
yeah. And
or
then
a throwing knife.
well, they have like the Halo like execution style,
Okay.
and that made me so happy because somebody tried to execute one of my players today because I was playing a little bit before I came over here, and I'm in this window and I see it and I just basically quick scope him, and he wasn't in my party, so I couldn't get a much needed thank you from him, but I was like, makes me feel good. I saved him midway. Like, you could see, like, the whole animation. Like, he's about to stab him in the back, and you just see a bullet shoot him in the head. And I'm like,
Nice.
You're welcome.
Oh, I have a question for you. But
Yeah, what's
tell
up?
me if I've already asked this on the podcast before. Because I think I might have.
You might have, but the last 2 episodes we recorded went to nothing.
No, not those two. Like, the first ones we did this semester.
Okay.
What is the best moment you've had playing, like, a multiplayer game? Like, the coolest and most awesome thing that's happened? And not just Call of Duty, just any multiplayer game.
That is a good...
Like, what's your most badass moment that you've had?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head.
I know you haven't had any. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can tell
But yeah,
us.
you have not... You haven't asked me that.
Okay, so...
What about yours? Do you know yours?
Yes, because I want to.
Okay, cool. While you
this-
talk about it, I'm going to try to listen but also think about mine. I might just pick like a recent one. Like that was a pretty good felt moment, but it would have been way cooler if it was like one of my friends' friends. I have those all the time though. Like today somebody was like, one of my guys was running in this church and I spawned and I see another guy like running behind him and I'm like, no, bang, shoot him in the head. I was like, hey, you're welcome. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, there's a guy going in the church, but I killed him. You're welcome.
Okay, I have no proof of that, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you would have any of the proof, but continue. What was your moment?
So, when Modern Warfare 2 came out, that was my game. That was a lot of our games. Ours game, I guess I'd say it. But do you remember the map Overpass? It was the one where it was raining and there was a big highway going over all the little buildings and
I
stuff.
think so, yeah.
So, I was playing Team Deathmatch there on that map.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I hear them. in the other room.
Okay. Continue, sorry.
I was playing Team Deathmatch, and I just wasn't doing very well this game. And there's a point in the middle of the map where there's like a little open area, and then there's a bridge connecting to spawn A or B, and then there's a little trailer to the right of the big open area, and then there's a pillar right up against the wall. So you can get like a little corner right here you can just back yourself into. No one really goes there that I know of. And so, it's getting toward the end of the game, and I'm just playing. I'm just like, oh man, this sucks. And so I run up, and I have last stand, and I get shot, and I'm backed up into this corner, just by myself. And I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna lose because the score is 7,200 to 7,400, so they just need one more kill. And as I go down, I look to my left, and all of my team is running out into this big open area, and the other team is at the spawn, like, shooting at them. I'm like, oh no, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? So, but I realized, like, wait, I have some C4. So, like, half of their team is over here.
You said you're down, or did you just come
I'm
back?
in last stand.
Oh, okay, last stand. Yeah.
So half the team's at this spawn, and the other half the team is in the trailer, and they're both shooting at my team in the open area. I'm like, it's just any second now, and I just click the button, and I just throw it randomly. I don't even aim. I kind of aim a little bit. I'm just like, and I throw
A Hail Mary throw,
a Hail
yeah.
Mary throw, and it barely hits the window, and it breaks through the window, and I just click it as fast as possible, and I get a triple kill, and we win 7,574, and I was like,
I look right at us.
yeah, I was like little 12-year-old me was like, oh my god. You've seen the Nintendo 64 kid?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's how I felt. I was like, I'm so cool. I didn't have the mic at the time.
Yeah.
I saw it, and I don't remember if anyone on my team or the other team said anything, but it was awesome.
Now, I guess recently, I think it was yesterday or a couple days ago on the new one. I got a one-shot double kill. I basically got a triple kill. Are you gonna eat this pizza live, man? Okay.
I'm not going to chew next to the mic.
All right, as long as you don't. Anyway, the one bullet, 2 kills. Got that. Threw a grenade. Got another guy. Got basically a quad with a sniper and a grenade. That was it. I don't know any off the top of my head because I was trying to listen to your C4 story. But I love C4. That's one of my favorites. That and the throwing knives. are probably my favorite stuff to use.
So do you prefer the throwing knife in the Modern Warfare games or the tomahawk in the Black Ops games? I know their function is pretty much the same, but do you have a preference?
Not really. I mean, I might say the tomahawk just because Sticks and Stones was probably one of my favorite things to play. And I love the bankrupt noise. And then also, you can bank with the throwing knives. Like the other day, we were playing, we got this one random, shout out to Poseidon, he only uses a riot shield.
Oh, so it's back in the new one.
Yeah. But like, he's actually really good with the riot shield. So like, we were playing like cyber attack, like I said, so it's like search and destroy but with revives. Bro, he would get like 4 kills a game with the, like 4 kills a round with the riot shield. He would just run and hit. And like, I revived him. We're like in this well, like tunnel area, one of the cave maps. I revive him. I'm shooting like behind. He like hits somebody. I'm laying on the floor. Somebody runs past. I shoot him with a shotgun. We're all like, how did he not see me? What an idiot. And I'm trying to revive him again because he finally died. And this team that we were playing against was talking a lot of smack. And you know, yesterday I had a really bad headache, so I didn't want to hit on the mics. I didn't want to murder these poor little kids. They're yelling about how trash he is because he's using a riot shield. And they throw a knife. He doesn't even hit me. He's like, oh, you're so bad. He doesn't even hit me. It banks and kills me. I was like, how am I bad if you couldn't hit me with a knife? But other than that, yeah. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I've had a lot. I think like all the coolest moments that I've got have all just been like straight up lifesavers. Like, because since all I do is snipe, it's just literally like somebody about to be picked, and I'm like boop, and finish them off or make sure they don't die. But other than that, I don't, because I don't run and gun, so it's not like triple quads. Suicide. But what I am going to start doing, because this is a foolproof plan, what you do, if your teammate has a riot shield, I don't know if it works on this one. This is what we used to do. We would throw a C4 on our friend's riot shield, and he would just run in there.
That's awesome.
And then we would explode it. Yeah, but in the new one you can, because this guy and his buddy did it. And this was the first time that I've seen it in the new one, because I'm like a level 14, 15 now, so I don't even have the C4. But what you do is you'll have a drone. You can summon a drone where you can mark everyone in the map. But you know, it makes your player dead. Basically, you can't do anything else. Okay, and you can throw a C4 onto the drone. Oh. And then it's really hard, but you throw the C4 on the drone, and then the drone like buys it, and then you explode it off the drone. Which I'm not sure if it blows up the drone because it's your C4. Because you know how it is with friendly fire and stuff. So it just, and then you get like a triple kill off a flying drone.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah. What they used to call it something, I think in like Battlefield, is it birthday cakes?
I have no idea.
I think it's like a birthday cake or a surprise or something like that. But
the only one I ever played online was Battlefield 3 a little bit.
Yeah.
When I had it.
But they have a Battlefield mode now on Black Ops, like big map. So I mean, it's still a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. But back to...
shit. I do remember. The other day, it was the Battlefield mode. All three of it was me, my old roommates, Scott and Danny, we all got in this helicopter, and I was driving. This is the only time I've driven a helicopter in the game. And I got...
Flown a helicopter.
Flown a helicopter in the game. And I got... It was either a triple or a quad kill. We were going up to get all the snipers in their nest, and I flew up there, and they tried to jump out of the helicopter to land on the tower, and they missed.
And you caught
them? They have a parachute.
Oh,
No, I didn't catch them, but I was like, well, I can't just drop out of the helicopter, I'm flying it. So I go down and I tilt the helicopter, and I kill everyone on top of that tower with my helicopter blades. Like 3 or 4 people. I wanted to play the game so bad, but they did final kill instead. But it's just me tilt down, and you just see a helicopter blade just hitting the roof and killing all these people, all these snipers, and I'm like, I did it. That was probably my proudest moment of the new Call of Duty, because I was like, how in the heck did I... you just...
Because I feel like as soon as the blades would hit the ground, you'd like tip forward and explode.
Well, it's on top of the roof. So basically, I was able to tilt it where it's not like a full like 90 degree, but I'm like kind of lowering. So the bottom of the helicopter is hitting the very bottom,
Okay.
but the height is, I guess, small enough where it just would technically just chop off their heads. And that to me was probably the coolest thing because I was just like, boy, am I good.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally somebody exploded the helicopter, but it didn't kill me. I just like hopped out of it and then just got on my parachute, flew down. I was like, wee.
But yeah, originally I was gonna say I started playing because when I asked you about which Battlefields you played, because I started playing Battlefield Bad Company 1. Have you ever heard of the Bad Company series of those two games?
I've heard that they're some of the best of the Battlefield series.
They're very enjoyable. Battlefield or Bad Company 2 has really good multiplayer, but the story in each of them is really fun because it's not very serious. It's about Bad Company, obviously, and it's just this group of 4 guys in the military that are like, some of them have like, they've all done some kind of crime or something. Instead of going to prison, they're serving time in the military.
Wow, Suicide Squad.
And it's not, well, it's kind of like that. But their names are like Sweetwater,
Heck yeah.
Haggard,
Yeah.
and I don't remember the sergeant's name, the leader.
Sergeant Pickles. That's his
Sergeant
name.
Pickles, yes.
I don't. That's not his actual name, but for the sake of it, his name's going to be Sergeant Pickles.
But the majority of the funny banter that goes on in the game is between Sweetwater and Haggard, because Sweetwater is like kind of he's kind of not a nerd, but he has glasses and he can be very
So a nerd.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's intelligent and like he's very
Dude, it's okay.
He's very meek.
Nerd culture is the culture right now.
And Haggard is like a stereotypical like
Marine?
redneck.
Oh, redneck.
Where
okay.
he has a toboggan on and a handlebar mustache.
Heck yeah, brother.
And he always does a rocket launcher on his back and a shotgun.
Always. I do hate noob tubes right now, though. Those have been very annoying. You know what a noob tube is?
Yes, I know what.
Okay, sorry,
Steven,
dude.
I played Modern Warfare 2. I know what a noob
You're
tube
right.
is.
You know how frustrating they are.
Yeah, but I love them at the same time.
Yeah. No, they're good. They are good, but they are frustrating. So the freeze frame, it like got back, and then it freeze framed the first time you took a bite of the pizza. So that's what I look at is you like this. Some good stuff.
But anyway,
Oh man.
it's a really funny game. Have you ever heard or seen the movie Three Kings?
No.
It's so this is the cast in it: George Clooney,
Great.
Matt Damon,
All right.
and Ice Cube.
Heck yeah.
And there's a fourth guy, and they're military guys. I think they're in the army, and they're in the Middle East for some mission. But I think it's like they go AWOL because they start stealing and looting and stuff like that, and looking for gold. And that's if the creators of Bad Company didn't see that or weren't heavily influenced by that, it's just a big coincidence because the story is kind of similar to that, where the main guys, the group you're with, they're in Russia, I think, or somewhere in Russia, because they're fighting the Russians in the game. America is. And at one point, the Russians are hiring a bunch of mercenaries by this guy.
That's another good game. Mercenaries. You ever played that? When you got to kill all these people, like they're all like listed as the cards.
I've never played it.
Oh, it's so good. They need to bring that back. Sorry, continue.
Well, yeah, thank you for interrupting me. But
hey, you just idea popped in my head. I had to.
But the plot of the game is you're in Russia. The character you play as, Preston, he just gets sent to Bad Company, and they find out that these mercenaries that are hired or work for this guy called the Legionnaire or whatever, and he pays. And he supposedly pays in full gold bars.
Heck yeah.
So everyone in your squad's like, gold bars, you say? Huh. So they find one, and then the sergeant's like, that belongs to like the U.S. government or whatever, or the army. And eventually, like in the second mission, you guys go AWOL because you're on the border of this country called it's like a fictional country like Sardinistan or something like
random.
Like
yeah.
And it's a neutral country. And the mercenaries that you guys are following that have a bunch of gold, Haggard assumes there's gold, and he's like, "There's got to be gold in those trucks." And they go into the country, and they're like, "Well, we can't do anything now. They're in neutral territory." And they look and they're like, "Where's Haggard?" And he's running down the hill with his shotgun like this. He's like, "There's gold in them there." And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, he just single-handedly invaded a neutral country." So at that point, they're like, "Well, I mean, it can't get any worse. Let's just go after it."
Yeah. Them gold in them barrels.
It's a funny game. It's very enjoyable. It's I like playing Battlefield in comparison to Call of Duty because it's, to me at least, it's much more like slow paced. It's not fast paced or frenetic and like an action movie and stuff like that. Even though Call of Duty used to not be that.
Well, as a sniper, I'm right there with you. But that's why I like the open world, and that's why I like Cyber Attack. People are kind of cautious. There's not so much running guns because it's like search and destroy, but there's revive. So people are like, "Let me try to revive him behind the bush."
Oh yeah.
Versus jump out and try to get the second kill, so not both of you are picked off.
And one thing that's stuck out to me when I first played the game, well, this week, was it reminded me of Halo a lot.
Bad Company?
Yes. I assume you played a Halo
I played
game
all of them except for 5.
Have you played Spartan Assault? The iOS game?
No, not iOS game. Get that nonsense out of here. I'm talking about the real ones, the ones on console.
But you know how typically in Halo campaigns the maps are, it's not like Call of Duty where it's very linear.
Yeah.
They're kind of more, I mean, they're still linear, but they're just big maps.
Yeah.
Open
world, but not open world.
Yeah, I guess. Bad Company's like that, where it's just like big open fields, and they don't really they give you an objective, but they're like, okay, this is the thing, go do it. But then you have all this space, so you can kind of approach it however you want. It's not really, stealth isn't really an option. It's usually just blow things up and shoot things. You can go off the beaten path.
I'm stealthy, boy.
Weapons and stuff. Because here's, do you know what the Frostbite engine is?
No.
It was first used for Bad Company 1. And it's a really great engine because it has destructibility in it. And I think Battlefield games have kind of gotten away from it a little bit. They still have a lot of it, but it's not so much the focus anymore, especially like the multiplayer. But in Bad Company, I only played Bad Company 2 like one time, a long time ago. But I played Bad Company 1 a lot, and it is so fun to just have a grenade launcher on your gun and just walk up, and you're in a building, and you're like, okay, guy, I want to get out of here. Don't go down the stairs all the way down, just blow a hole in the wall and just jump out. Because there's so much explosions, and a lot of the gameplay is kind of centered around that, it almost does no damage to you. You can throw a grenade at the ground, shoot a grenade launcher, a rocket very much at your feet, and it won't do that much damage to you. You can't rocket jump. It's not that silly, but
dang it.
It has. Oh, also, this game has one of my favorite weapons in a first-person shooter. Period.
What is that?
It's called It's listed as
the big M. What is it? The BFMG.
BFG 9000 from Doom.
Yeah.
No, that's a good gun, but it's not my favorite. Super Shotgun's better, but it's called the Mortar 5. It's like MRTR-5. And because I think you pick it up at the second level, and it just looks like this little GPS device, but it's a Russian thing that calls in mortar strikes, right? And you can use it an unlimited amount of times at really far ranges. Nice. And you just have it in your hand. You just look at it whenever you want to die, and you just hold it down a couple seconds. And then that Russian guy on the other end is like, okay, I got you, das Vidanya. And then it just rains tons of mortars on whatever you just looked at, and it'll destroy enemies and tanks and then all the buildings. It's so fun to use. It's like you ever played Destroy All Humans?
No.
Have you ever heard of it?
I think so.
It's just you play a little stereotypical green or gray alien. It's no.
Did we play that? Did we play that one time?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
But
no, we played some alien game against each other.
I think we did, but I don't remember what it was. But basically, in that game, it also has instead of a mortar gun, it has a meteor gun, where you can call down giant meteors from space to hit stuff. But yeah, I recommend Battlefield. Bad Company. Yeah. Great game.
Man. Oh man.
What?
What was that other thing? Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about before I forget. So, of those that, by the time they see this, unless if all the recording is terrible, we uploaded for one of our classes, we had to upload our talents. Zane's talent was catching quarters, and mine was a magic trick, We hope you guys check that out. The combined total is about a minute long. Very good, very talented people here.
Well, to be more specific, mine is I have a stack of 8 quarters, and I put them on the end of my elbow, and then I throw my arm over and I catch them before any of them hit the grounder. And
it's pretty amazing.
I know it's a pretty, I'm like the only guy that can do it that I know, besides my dad.
Yeah. And then I do a magic trick. I do a disappearing act. For those that you
It's very convincing.
don't know, it's that I'm a magician. And basically, the rank of magicians on the planet, not including Jesus because he doesn't count.
Do you even know any actual like professional magicians?
Yeah, Penn and Teller.
Besides like the famous ones?
No, because those are the only people that are important, Zane.
All right. Besides Penn and Teller, name another one.
David Copperfield.
Okay.
Chris Angel. That's it. Those are the 3 that make the most money.
Also, those were 3 I was thinking of as well.
Yeah, so just shut your mouth. But if you take all 4 of those names, I'm slightly above all of them with this disappearing act. Yeah, it's probably one of the best you've ever seen. Yeah.
I was there and I didn't even realize you were gone.
Yeah, and I told you, I say in the video, I said, hey, don't blink or you miss it.
I was just going like this.
Yeah, and Zane blinked and he missed it. I disappeared for about like 10 seconds too. It was
actually good. The truth is I had to cut out about an hour of video because Steven disappeared for like an hour and I legitimately was scared for it. I didn't know where he was. He went to the negative zone. I don't know, the shadow realm. He was just gone. He was so good at it.
Thanks, Zane. I will not say my secrets because I'm a true magician.
Yeah, but I had to cut it down to like 20 seconds. So.
But it was, because the limit was 5 minutes, but we didn't want to make anybody wait 5 minutes of the disappearing act. Even though, thinking about it, it would have been funnier if we made them wait for like 5 minutes for the disappearing act. But then we would have had to export it, and it would have taken like 30 minutes to export, and I didn't want to deal with that.
I don't think anyone would actually watch the whole thing.
No.
They'd just skip to the end.
But it would be funny to watch them like skip.
Hey man, quick short videos. That's what people watch, especially comedic stuff. That's why Gus Johnson is popular.
Yeah, he's great.
He has longer videos, but
yeah, a lot of his stuff's still like a minute, 2 minutes. Yeah, good stuff. Shout out to Gus, good guy.
I love him. Aren't you so glad I introduced you to him?
I am. His sticker video that he posted recently, very good.
Wait, did you show me that one when we were?
Yeah, I showed you that. Yeah, it's his sticker based.
Oh, the paper stickers.
Yeah, paper sticker.
I hate
paper stickers.
I know everyone hates them, but they're so awful.
Yeah.
Especially on. I hate them the most when they're in video games.
Cases. Yeah.
Because sometimes, even if they're like fresh and new, they'll still like rip in half and all the glue's on there, and then you mess up the plastic or like indent it and rip it.
Brother, speaking to the choir, like pricing it, if there's so many stickers on one, you have to take all of them off to re-sticker it. Shoot me in the face. Just shoot me in the face, man.
Yeah.
I hate
didn't think
it.
that you had probably to deal with that.
Yeah, I have to deal with it all the time. And then like some people, what they do, because they're idiots, what they like to do is they like to, if they see a lot of stickers on one, they'll like to peel like a corner to see if the price is lower
and then try and take it
but
off real
they're
quick.
dumb because 9 times out of 10, guess what? The cheapest price is the current sticker.
And they make it more expensive and they don't read it and they just bring it to you real quick. Like, okay, I'd like to buy this game. And they're like, $50 for like Little Big Planet. What?
Yeah, but then I still mark it down because it will just ring up as 20 in the system. So then when we go to price change, you'll have like 14 just with like corners that are open on the side. So you just got to rip it all the way off anyway because you can't just push it back down. It's just a mess. People are awful.
Oh, also this
moral of the story.
This is reminding me. There's something I want to talk about GameStop. My experiences with GameStop, not the ones around here.
I was about to say, Zane, you come into my GameStop, you'll have nothing but a blast.
I'll have a positive experience.
You'll have the best experience.
Well, I've had a couple negative
Me too,
experiences
man.
at the ones that's an Enterprise.
Well, I bet.
Because twice I went in there, and I bring the case up to the register, right? Pay for the game. They hand me back the case. Like, okay, here's your game.
No game?
They forgot to put the disc in there, and I'm just like, okay. The first time it happened to me, I was kind of looking away or whatever, just putting my change in my wallet, and then they handed me the case. I was like, okay, cool, thanks. And I drive all the way home and open it, and I'm like, what? So I drive back, and I was like, yeah, you forgot to put the game in the case. He's like, oh, sorry about that. Let me get that for it. And it happened a second time, and I was standing there. I was like, you put the game in? It's like, oh, sorry. It was someone different.
Bruh, that's so bad. See, what I do is because I hate returning stuff. So, like, whenever there's, like, a last copy, like, when that happens, it's one of the last copies when they actually have to put the disc in. So, I just don't let people pay for it until I find the disc and put it in the case. Because I'm just like, imagine if I don't have this game and I sell it to you. Then I got to return it. And then I got to take it out of my system. And then I got to do, like, 15 more steps. Or what I can do is not sell you this game that I don't have. And save you, me, everybody some trouble.
Oh, actually, I do have a legitimate problem, though. Or I did have a legitimate... what I see is a legitimate problem.
Oh, what? Let me...
So, like, freedom to put the disc in the box, that's not a big deal. You just go back and they'll put it in, right?
Yeah.
But there have been a couple times as well where I would bring up, like, 3 or 4 games to the register. And I'd be paying for them, and the guy would be getting the games. And I would look at the little thing showing me the price of the games or whatever, and my total and stuff like that. And there were multiple times where the sticker on the game and the price of it was much lower than what was actually showing up on the screen.
Okay, so when that happens...
Well, I'm not
done
yet.
Continue, sorry.
And they would come back and not even notice it, and still I'd be like, hey, this game is actually marked down to this. And they just like, oh yeah, that's all I gotta change all that. And they didn't notice, and they would have let me pay for it if I didn't see it.
Oh, I mean, that's fair on them because you know how many games are stickered on a wall and how many get changed, like, frequently, especially, like, right now, like, with school. I'm there probably, like, right now, like, the past 2 weeks. I'm, like, there once a week out of 14, so 2 out of 14 days. I don't know what has been changed in price or what sales are going on at all, unless if someone directly tells me, or after I check messages, and those are only, like, big sales on, like, new games and stuff, not all pre-owned. But, like, 9 times out of 10, like, if it's, like, misstickered on pre-owned and say, like, the case is lower, they'll just change it.
Well, I know.
It's fine. But another thing, like, especially with a lot of games, they're not going to check every single time. Like, it's just not going to happen. But if you bring it up, but that's also on you as a customer because you brought it up there knowing the price. So you should tell them because mistakes happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when you deal with, like, just so many people in a day and it's just constant, you're not going to know all the prices. And if it scans as one thing. So, basically, what you're saying is on the sticker price, it says lower versus what it scans in the system. So the system's the correct thing, right? So that means somebody, whoever changes the prices for the stickers, didn't do their job.
Okay.
So, like, 9 times out of 10, if you want to go to a store and say there's 7 people working, max 2 people are doing price changes. Max 3 people, usually 2, like a GA and an SGA, whoever was on duty that night or that morning. The chances of you knowing what was changed are very slim. So, like, that's on you to just be like, hey, on the sticker it says this, and we'll just change it with no issue.
Well, my issue isn't that they don't know all the different price changes for all the games, because obviously that's, like, not impossible with how many games there are.
Yeah.
My issue is just that, yes, the customer should probably notice it, but if they happen not to me, it doesn't seem like a big deal for whoever's behind the register to at least look at the price thing and look at the game, at the physical case, if it's a physical case, and just be able to see immediately that it's different.
But it also depends on, like, how the worker, like, scans and stuff, right? So if you hand me 3 games, I might just flip all of them and scan them from the back, or I'll take all 3, I'll see what they are, and I'll just pull them right out of the drawer, which don't have price stickers on it. It's like, the chances of them even looking at the price sticker on that physical case might be slim too. Yeah, there's a lot of flaws in every system, but they will change it if you have the lower price and you noticed. Yeah, it gives me a headache too.
It does remind me one time of when I was I don't want to say swindled because I was just being a dumb kid. It was completely my fault. But when Skyrim came out, I went and got, let's see, it was a GameStop in the Fort Rucker, then the military base near Enterprise. And it was still there. And I got a used copy of Skyrim. It was like $40. I was like, oh yeah, $40? It's recently came out. This is great. So I go up there and hand it in. And the guy's like, oh, actually, we don't have any more used copies of this game. We only have new ones. It's like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll just take a new copy then. And in my mind, I thought, well, the one I brought that I had right there was $40. So the new one will still, it'll just have to be $40 too, right? And I didn't realize it. And I was like, oh, it's also $60. Oh, okay, thank you.
Well, I mean, that's not really a swindle. That's just a mess up in the system. So, like, that's why...
That case shouldn't have been out there.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been out there on the floor. And then he could have told you, like, a different location that the game was at. Mm-hmm. So, say, like, the one in Enterprise, whatever's close, if you wanted to get pre-owned. But the real issue with this story is I'm pretty sure Skyrim's rated M. So, you shouldn't have got that game anyway.
No, I had an adult there.
Okay, so to say, that's the real issue, is you shouldn't have gotten the game.
I mean, it's just a video game. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Especially
for
Skyrim.
Anyone on the planet except for people that make video games and the news and media and the person whose job it is.
Because, like, Skyrim is to me, one of the silliest games ever. That's why I like it so much. It's so fun to play. Because it's so broken.
But you still got to do it, unfortunately. The only people that I don't... Well, no. Unless if, like, you or somebody came in...
Mm-hmm. Well, just real quick, I want to say, that was a big gulp. I heard that.
Yeah.
That was a nice one.
Unless if it was like you or somebody that I like 100% know, I don't check your ID. Like, I check your ID unless if it was like, say, like you came in or like my sister. Like, I know how old my sister is because she's my older sister. So I can sell her a game without checking her ID. But like, if you're anybody else, I'm just like, oh, you're 68? Nah, show me the ID, please.
No, that'd be so funny if I did come up and you were like, "Oh, Mr. Wilson, I need to see your ID." And I'm like, "Seriously, Steven? That you have to share your ID?" And you're like,
it depends on
yes,
who
sir.
would be in the store. Like, if like my regional manager would say, I'd probably do it just so I didn't get a headache. But 9 times out of 10, I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Zane? How's it going?" And then I just do it.
I'm telling you, the ESRB just needs to be dissolved and gotten rid of.
Yeah, it does.
Because I mean, I think the games would have been fine without it before.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It keeps people playing away a little bit from playing trash, like Grand Theft Auto.
Why do you think Grand Theft Auto is trash?
Because the community that makes it all of its money is trash.
Okay, well then again you run into an issue of, like, you know, just because does a piece of art's audience
make it good or bad? Yes.
I don't. That to me it's clearly no. Because that's, to me, that's similar as, like, if the person that made the art is themselves a bad person, does that negatively affect the artwork or whatever?
No.
Can you still enjoy a song if the guy that made the song is a murderer? Yes, you can.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can. I'm just kidding. I do just hate the Grand Theft Auto community, though.
I mean, it's so easy to just not be a part of it, and just ignore it. Just play the game.
Well, Zane, you can't ignore it when you work at GameStop and you got to deal with stupid people every day.
Well, and that's your choice, man. You chose to work at GameStop. You knew the risks going in.
No, Zane, I didn't.
Steven.
They didn't tell me in my interview, hey, are you ready to deal with idiots that don't shower every day? Honestly, that's why I might be sick. It's either from, like, college students that don't know how to bathe.
That's a lot of them.
Or people that go in GameStop that don't know how to bathe.
Before you applied to GameStop, had you never been in a GameStop before?
Zane.
Have you never seen people that come in GameStop?
Zane, the only time that I ever was, like, in a GameStop was, like, with my family. Mm-hmm. And that was it. There was, like, nobody else in the store. You know, they weren't popping and busy because my parents hate shopping with a bunch of people. So we'd go in, like, select time periods of the day where they knew nothing had anybody in them. So, yeah, I didn't know how many people that miss hygiene class 101.
Hygiene class. Let me tell you, when I was in Lund freshman year, Lund is just like a giant sweaty sock personified. And Napier is just like a giant dumpster personified.
It's either a dumpster
or a dumpster fire.
Or like a condom that was kind of used but not used. And when I mean kind of used, like it was jacked off into, because the majority of people in Napier aren't having sex because of their hygiene. Like, that's what I think.
I mean, communal showers are just the worst thing.
They are terrible. And I lived in both of those dorms.
I forgot you lived in Napier.
I had my own room in Napier.
Oh wait, no, you were there for like the first semester, right?
Yep. Yeah. I've lived in all the dorms that a man can live in except for New Res, which is the suite style.
Okay, because you were in Ramsey, Lund,
Peck, Napier.
And Napier?
Yep, the only other one's
New Res?
Yeah, New Res. I've been in New Res once.
I've only been in there twice.
Yeah, played Pong with Jake and Will. Threw a card into the wall. Yeah, I can throw cards pretty hard.
Speaking of throwing cards, there was one time a long time ago where my cousin and I were playing Uno, and when him and I played games and stuff, we get like really competitive and like, you know, we'll fight and stuff over it. We used to, not so much anymore.
No, don't lie. It's only now.
Yeah, actually, it's gotten worse as we gotten older. I mean, like last time I went home, I got a black eye, but we're playing Uno. And I just kept winning over and over again. And one time when he was like, no, you were cheating or something like that. And I was like, no, man, I just won. Ha, ha, ha. And so he just...
Say whenever he's with his cousin is high.
And then the next game, he knew I was going to win. He could tell it. He was about to lose. So he took all the cards that were in his hand. And we were like this far away from each other, maybe a little closer. And he just takes the fistful of cards and chunks them as hard as he can at my face. And one of them hits me in the forehead and cuts my forehead. And I was like, ow, why would you do that? That actually hurt me.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
But then I got back at him, I think later, because we were in the backyard. We were in Denver at our great aunt's house. And he was at the back of the backyard, just like, I don't know, doing something. And I was standing in the front of the backyard with an apple, and I was eating it. And I just finished it, so I had a fresh apple core. I just looked at it. I don't know why I thought this or even did this. I was just looking at it. And I just said, hey, James. He said, turns, he said, what? I threw it as hard as I can, right in the middle of his chest. And he's like, ow. And then of course he jumps on me. We wrestle around and stuff like that. So. This reminds me of like family fights. Not for my own family, but one time I was like, I was shadowing a chiropractor. I was sitting in one of the room, and this mom and her two kids come in. And I mean, like, one's probably like 4 to 6, and the other one's like 2 to 3. The older brother straight up just grabs the little brother and slams him into the wall, and he hits like the wall socket, and it shatters. This little baby does not cry, and the doctor, the chiropractor, he's just like, well, good thing you're here. Let me just readjust it. He readjusts the baby. The mom's like, I swear to God, if you throw him again, I'm going to beat you. And the older brother's like, oh, he tripped. I don't know what happened. He tripped, and it's just a replay of him.
Well, it's like this, and he like throws him like that, like a side like push, like if he was running behind him and he goes like that, and the baby just like full on head first just hits like the wall socket, like the output, you're plugging the cords, and it just shatters. No crying or anything, and I just thought to myself,
tough
wow,
kid.
It's a tough baby. That's the type of that's what my kid better be like. If he starts crying like a little baby, ooh, he's gonna learn. It's time to grow up. He's 2. Adulthood.
This reminds me of another funny wall story where I was super little, maybe like 3 or 4, and my 2 cousins that I lived with, one of them was only 2 months younger than me, but the other one is 3 years older than us. Mm-hmm. So when we were little, she'd always follow us around and stuff like that. And at their grandparents' house, their front porch was like really high up, and it was like brick. And so we were running, and James and I, we would just run up and jump up onto it, barely. And my little cousin, she wouldn't be like us, so she ran as hard as she could. She was like, so we were like 3 or 4. She was, well, no, we were older than that. She was like maybe 2 or something, like 2 or 3. Actually, I could be getting it wrong. Anyway, she was really little.
Okay, the age gap is 3 or 4 years?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, so little Zane and then 3 year younger cousin.
Mm-hmm. And She ran full force and didn't even jump. She just ran straight into the back and scraped up the whole side of her face. And you know what? She didn't cry.
Tough kid.
She's tough. We made her tough.
Back when I was little, I think the most, so obviously I'm a wrestling fan, and now there's one, it was when we were moving down to Alabama, so I was probably like 10 at the time. Yeah, I was 10, and I was staying with like my aunt, because I was staying with grandparents, so I was like the last kid that actually got to Alabama, because I was doing other stuff, because my birthday's in the summer, so I stayed with other family. I was staying with my aunt and her new husband at the time before they were married, and I was hanging out with my little cousin, who's now a junior. He's a junior, I think, in high school now, so I don't know what the age gap is. I think it was like 6 years. 6 years. No, 4. It's 4 or 6 or 5. I don't know how. 2003, what is that from 98? 5? That's 5. Yeah, 5-year gap. And we were wrestling. Bro, I suplexed this kid on the wall so many times. I think he only cried once. Good job, Andrew. Not getting me in trouble. Shout out to you. And then you got a free copy of Borderlands 3 today, because I'm just a good cousin. Not today, but like a couple days ago.
Oh, digital copy?
Yeah, I gave him a digital copy.
Man, if only you could get physical copies. That'd be the best. Because then I would get them.
Whoa. I might let you borrow them.
I mean, you don't like physical copies anymore.
I do like physical copies. It depends on what I'm playing on.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie.
That's not a lie. I get all my stuff on Xbox digitally for one reason. I console share. So therefore, the person that I console share with cuts the price of the game in half because I'm poor, broke, and sad all the time. So a $60 game becomes a $30 game, and we both get it. My PlayStation is usually physical games because my siblings have a PlayStation, so I bring my games that after I beat them over to them so they can play, because they don't get discounts like I do. And I'm a family guy, Zane. Even though I talk shit all the time, I still care about my family. So I let like my other siblings play. Also because like all the PlayStations at the house except for my sister's are my PlayStations. So I'll bring them games that I beat.
How do you feel about PS5 being announced, basically?
I'll be alright. I'm not putting too much stock in all of them until like they actually come out.
And reveal it officially?
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. We're getting to the point where it doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter?
What console you're on. Here's why. Because everything's becoming cross-play. Sony's finally realized, hey, if we don't open the cross-play platforms, we're going to lose business.
We're going to die.
Yeah, because, like, bro, if you're on an Xbox and you're like, yeah, I can play with Switch and PC, all right. And then PlayStation's like, we're just going to play by our little phone. So, like, I get it. And I play on all of them. So, like, to me, this is how it is. If you want, like, the best of, like, all worlds. Xbox is the better shooter because that's, like, all their exclusives. And they have better racing games because Forza's better than anything on PlayStation.
You don't like Gran Turismo?
It's better than Gran Turismo. I don't hate Gran Turismo, but Forza's much better.
To be fair, I've never played a Gran Turismo game. I've only ever played, in terms of racing sims,
I played like one on PS3.
I played Forza and I played Project Gotham Racing. I haven't played Gran Turismo. So.
And Need for Speed's on both. So, like, if you're going to race, I would just say Xbox.
The last big batch of Need for Speed games have
They're
not
about to
been
drop
good.
another one. A new one's coming out.
The reboot and Payback were not good, man.
Hey, I didn't say they were good. I just said they're on both consoles. And they're about to drop another one.
Oh, boy.
Yep. And then exclusive single players. Sony probably has better single player exclusives. But everything now is just becoming a time exclusive. There's only like a select handful of exclusives that people like truly care about.
So, again, what do you think that should you? Yeah. So, do you think there should not be different consoles?
No, I'm saying like it doesn't matter which one you buy now. Like there is no like. Basically, the biggest thing to me, but this like the big like if you came into the store and you're like, hey, I'm thinking about getting a PlayStation or Xbox, which one would I get? I'll tell you, not get the original Xbox One because it's like doo-doo butthole. Like a major doo-doo butthole. because the power brick is the worst concept on the planet. And if that system goes out, you just wasted all your money. The S is Xbox One X. If you have a 4K TV, is going to be better than the Pro. The Pro and the S are similar, but the Pro's better. But money-wise, you can get a bundle deal with Xbox. But it really just depends on where your friends are at. So, like, if you have a bunch of friends on Xbox, I would say get an Xbox. But if all your friends are on PlayStation, you might as well get a PlayStation.
I mean,
until, like, now, since now, like, I think on the new gens, everything, all, like, multiplayer games that come out, except for, like, exclusive multiplayer games, so, like, Gears, Halo, everything else, like Overwatch, on the new gens, Overwatch 2, I think will be crossplay.
Well, I mean, because to me, besides exclusives, and I guess maybe, like, brand loyalty, if that's still a thing anymore.
It is. People are still brand loyal.
It always just comes down to personal preference. It always has been.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. The biggest thing is where your friends are at, but it's getting to the point where that doesn't matter. So it's gonna get to the point where just whatever controller you like better in your hands. But even that's garbage, because either you're good at a game or you're not.
I mean, and even then, like, you can get custom controllers however you want now.
Yeah.
Well, you've been able to do that for a long time.
It's just a basic controller. Which one you want to get for free with the console? Because until, like, everyone starts getting better TVs in their homes, the specs and the frame rate doesn't matter. Like, they can make consoles that do 8K.
Yeah, but how many people don't have that?
How many people have an 8K TV?
How many people have a 90-inch 8K 3D curved TV?
Yeah, like 7.
With not just red, blue, and green, but also yellow.
Yeah. So at that point, why? I know one person with an OLED 4K TV, and that's Jessica. That's it. And yeah. I know a lot of people, Zane.
Yeah, besides her, no one our age is going to have a TV like that. Well, except for maybe Thor, because he likes spending lots of money. But
yeah. But who should and is capable of actually, like, affording it? Like, that's one in, like, a million, okay? Like, why spend... It's not that big of a difference either. Like, you've seen the stuff on that TV. Well, yeah, it looks great. But it's not, like, so great where you're like... Just can't play on the regular TV now, guys. It's just the difference is too much. You're like, it's fine. There's also so like that's not really a big deal. The biggest thing, like the coolest thing about Xbox that I like over PlayStation, the party chat. Party is way easier on Xbox. PlayStation's party system makes me want to shoot myself.
Yes.
It literally makes me want to pull out a gun and blow my brains out. Like,
I've never used it, but I've heard.
Bang. Like, that's what PlayStation wants me to do. Xbox, I'm like, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But PlayStation's is awful. It is not good. Not at all. Like, until they do, like, the half screen and it pops up just a little bit, like, yeah, you can hold the button. But it's compared to Xbox, it's trash. And then, but PlayStation has better exclusives.
Well, that's
like God
that's
of
subjective.
War. No, I mean it's pretty much right. God of War, Spider-Man, Persona. No, it's not subjective when like
it's subjective.
Well, when they win more awards for their exclusive games than Xbox does.
Are you actually using awards as an argument for the merit of a piece of art? Really?
Zane.
If that was true, then that would mean all the people on Rotten Tomatoes that say that like Joker is poo-poo garbage would be right.
They do 2 different votes. They have an audience score and a regular score.
They don't matter because they don't give out the awards, Steven. They don't give out the actual critic reviews.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't give out real awards.
What is a real award then?
Like the Game of the Year, like big old conference that they have that tells you
who
what
presents
it is.
this. Who presents this award?
Let's see. There's multiple.
Because at the end of the day, Oscars and Screen Actors Guilds and all that stuff doesn't mean anything. It's just a popularity contest. That's all it is. Doesn't mean it's good.
I don't know who texted me, but they were asking about soccer games. Zane, basically, the big conferences.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
What, like E3?
Oh, it's literally just called Game Awards.
Okay. So is there like a panel of judges or it's voting? How is this decided?
You know, I don't know. But that's what I'm talking about. They just win more awards across the board for their exclusives than Xbox. I'm not saying that
That
Xbox
doesn't mean
has
anything.
I'm just saying. Majority of the people would say the exclusives are better on PlayStation than Xbox.
Yes, but that's a subjective claim.
Whoop. Okay, it's still recording.
That's completely subjective. You can say that if you want to. That's fine. You can believe that, but that doesn't make it true.
Okay. Nothing is true, though. Everything's permitted.
Well, now you're just getting into like basic philosophy.
Yeah. So
what is life? Why are we here? Why am I hungry?
Everything you're doing, Zane. That's all it is. You're just trying to put your philosophy in there.
No, not.
But here's the bottom line. Because I said so. That's the bottom line.
Have you ever even taken a philosophy class here?
Yeah, I took it with Dr. Patton over the summer, and it was the best class that I had.
Which class was it? Which philosophy was it?
Critical reasoning.
Oh, that's one I didn't have with him.
Yeah, it was great.
I had Introduction to Philosophy, Ethics, and Ancient and Medieval Philosophy.
You know what I've learned from all my psych classes and just in life? Everything boils down to opinion, Zane. Nothing is true and nothing is real. Because it doesn't matter what you say, I can always say the opposite.
Okay.
And if I believe it to be true, guess what? In my mind, it is true. So therefore, to me, it's true. And you can't prove it otherwise.
Like you told me the other day, it's not a lie if you believe it.
Yeah, quote from Seinfeld. And that's in a way actually true. Like colorblind people, for example, you can tell them it's red 1,000 times, but they may never see the color red.
Just because you can't observe something doesn't mean it's not there.
But doesn't it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Give me another example.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? Just because there
Out of your death, doesn't make a sound to them.
No, it's not a question of does it make a sound to the observer. Does it make a sound in
Saying
reality?
I know it does make a sound.
Huh?
It does make a sound.
It
okay,
does.
but what about this, right?
Because no matter if hold on, I was supposed to say, just to make a point, just because there's not a living thing to see it happen or react to it and hear it, doesn't mean that when the tree falls, that doesn't create vibrations in the air around it. I mean, technically, plants are alive, so they witness it. They feel it in their roots.
But what is really alive, Zane?
If you want to go, let's see, I'm trying to remember the technical definition.
I mean, that's your opinion, man. I mean, like psychology to me is just the biggest opinion of them all.
Oh, psychology is hilarious.
Yeah, that's
not to say that psychology is like, I don't know, a ruse or anything.
No, it's not a ruse, but like, here's my thing. If it was true, they would say it as a truth and not as a theory.
Well, I mean, just because something is a theory doesn't mean, like, you can't rely on it.
No, I'm not saying you can't rely on it. I'm just saying it's not a fact. So, therefore, it's not true. Therefore, there's always an exception.
Well, I mean...
And if there's always an exception...
The classic example
matter.
That I always hear people give is gravity is just a theory. But
actually, gravity's a law.
No, it's not a theory.
You tell me there's no laws of gravity?
Doesn't make it a scientific law. There are different types of laws.
So what type of law is it?
Because a law can also be described as it's a descriptor for like, it can be like universal laws, like the four forces of the universe is like strong nuclear forces, weak nuclear forces, electromagnetism,
yeah, all those are fake.
And gravity.
Yeah, fake.
But
not real.
Next you're going to tell me you believe in lizard people and flat earth stuff.
I mean, I don't believe in flat earth. But if you do look at certain maps, it is flat.
But Steven, Earth is flat. There are lizard people among us. Australia isn't real.
I mean, the lizard people, 50-50. Okay.
He is just an actress.
I mean, she, maybe. I'm trying to say, I mean, she doesn't listen to this podcast, so I can say what I want. But I mean, I've seen some pretty good acting skills of people.
Am I a good actor?
I mean, sometimes I.
No, I'm a terrible liar.
You're a terrible liar, but you have these moments where you can fool a lot of people because you'll do this thing. You'll be like, you'll just like straight face it for as long as you can, and then it will confuse the person well enough where they're just like, all right, I'm done. And that's kind of a form of acting because you're getting your point across and you're getting what you want out of it.
Well, I just love being sarcastic.
Yeah. Sarcasm is a form of acting, though. But
for me, it's a double-edged sword because I can be really sarcastic towards people, and I'm really good at it. But I can never tell when someone's being sarcastic toward me. It goes completely over my head.
Exactly. I think you're pretty good at seeing my sarcasm. Actually, I take that back.
No, sometimes I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, as an award-winning actor,
yeah.
I am, though. It is funny that I get to say that. Hopefully I'll become a 2-time award-winning actor.
Okay, but back to what we were talking about. Everything is just... I mean, you could say everything's an opinion, man, but...
I mean, it is. Everything's subjective, too. For the most part. Here's what's going to really stumble on people's toes. You know what the most subjective thing is? Most opinionated thing is?
Well, objective and opinionated are collapses. You mean subjective.
Sorry, subjective. Religion.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe not our toes, but I'm just saying. The 4 people that view and listen to this step on their toes.
Oh, no. You're really walking on eggshells there, Steve.
Yeah, we might go to 2 viewers.
Oh, no. It'll just be... I don't know.
It'll just be our loyal fan, Joe Paul. Jason. That's who we need to get on this show, Jason. He'd be fun. And then, but I feel like if Jason's in, what do you think Matt would be doing? You think Matt would be, sitting in the corner?
They are together a lot.
They are together a lot. And then, Adam would just be, sending an angry text to them. I can't believe you're going on the show, and they didn't invite me, and I just can't believe it.
We'd all be in here, and we'd have the door like he'd be on the way.
We let Matt sit in, just not talk, and it's just Jay talking, and we have Adam.
Well, we did have Jason and Matthew be our audience in a way that one time last semester.
And they said nothing.
They laughed.
They laughed like 2 jokes. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm right and you're wrong.
Exactly.
About the original thing about video games and exclusives and being better than others and subjective.
The bottom line, Zane, is it doesn't matter what console you're at, and the new consoles are not going to matter. It really just comes down to what you care about as an individual.
Isn't that what most things come down to?
No. Most things come down to the facts. And,
Steven,
most things come down to anything other than logic. Okay, the logical answer for most things is just not the way things go. We were talking about it in one of our psych classes the other day. It was about seniors having to take a test early for the exam week. And
I thought you meant senior citizens for a second.
Yeah, no. And I was like, why don't they just make everyone take the exams in these 2 days, and then nobody has to worry about anything, and everybody gets their grades earlier? And then my teacher was like, well, that would make sense. And I was like, cool. This real world stuff doesn't get any better. That's my least favorite saying on the entire planet since I've been to school.
What's the saying?
When you enter the real world, I hate that.
Oh, yeah.
I literally, every time somebody says that, my blood boils to the point where I just want to punch them in the face as hard as I can.
One of my personal favorite examples is I remember being in it was either kindergarten or early elementary school, and our teachers were like, remember, when you get to middle school and high school, you're not going to be sitting around coloring stuff.
And then you're coloring.
And when
geography.
I was a junior year in high school, when I had a mythology class, we colored stuff.
Yeah,
that class was awesome.
Color is important, man. No, I hate that saying the most, and it might just make me mad even more when it's a teacher saying it to me. Mm-hmm. Because here's the bottom line, right? Here's the bottom line, brother. Let me explain this to you. This is about to get real deep. I want you to think about this, and I'm talking about the majority of teachers, not all teachers, because some teachers do this, but the majority of them do not. Guess what profession doesn't work the whole year round?
Teaching. Well, technically, I mean, they still do stuff over the summer. They still
Okay, Zane.
come up
how
with
many how many teachers do you know that don't wait till the last minute or reuse the same schedule that they did for the previous semester or previous year?
Dr. Dorfler?
So one out of approximately 12 through high school.
What was the question again?
No, I just said how many do you think actually like do a complete new schedule and not just reuse the same material or slides or whatnot from the previous semester?
I mean, most teachers do that because that's the material they teach.
I know
because some professions are static. They don't change.
Very good. So that's why it makes me mad, right? So they talk about this real world, but how many months is the summer? 3?
2 to 3.
2 to 3. And you were going to say that they prepare for the next semester. You know, the next semester or next year they're teaching is going to be the exact same schedule, basically. Yeah. So really, they don't have to prepare because everything's already been prepared. They might have to print off more papers and figure out who their students are, but they don't have to do anything other than that.
Well, yes, that is true, but that's just the nature of teaching.
Yeah.
In some aspects.
Okay. Now, when you get to the real world and not teach, guess what? Guess what's going to be happening?
Things change every day.
You're going to be going, change every day. You got to be going year-round of work. You don't get a 2 to 3 month summer break. Hell, you might not even get a paid vacation. Okay, Zane?
I love how impassioned you are about this.
So all I'm saying is don't be coming up to me and talk about this real-world nonsense if you're a teacher. Now, listen, I get it. Back in like 12 years ago when you worked in the job field that you're talking about, that you were part of the real world and you know what we're talking about. But since you've been a teacher for 20 years after that, don't come up to me when the last time you were in the job field was 2000 and all they used was flip phones and phone calls that have wires. Don't come to me and tell me what's going to happen.
So do you think that...
Now, not all teachers are like that, because like some teachers, like in the science fields, they do research and stuff during the summer and stuff, so I'm not talking about them.
Well, yeah, but also, you do realize that professors here, like, they need to be doing, like, active research to keep their job and stuff like that.
Yeah, some of them, to get tenured.
I thought they just had to do it in general.
I think after they get tenured, they don't have to, but that's not every university.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, some, but you know how, like, okay, so, for instance... I don't want to step on any toes, but this is just an example. You know how, like, in our field, you have to produce, like, 3 films or 3 acts every, like, 3 years?
No.
Pruitt talked about it last semester.
Which class?
I think it was in 412.
Okay.
How he had to do so many films and get them in festivals to keep his job.
Okay.
So you know how, like, in the science majors, you have to write, like, a paper and get it reviewed.
That's what I was talking about earlier, about doing active research.
But, like, in our field, right, you have to do 3. But some of them, if you, like, I don't think Dr. Patton has had to do one in a while because he has tenure.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, but, like, for Pruitt,
well, to be fair, I think for Dr. Patton's case, I think it was, like, because he has tenure, even if he doesn't do it, they're not going to come down as harshly on him or something like that.
Yeah. But that's not every university. But you can literally just throw stuff together. Because I think, like, Pruitt's comedy special counted as one.
Okay. So do you think it's not difficult being a teacher/professor? Or are you talking about all teachers, or are you just talking about public schooling or universities or, like, vocational schools?
A good majority of teachers.
In every field?
In every field.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's hard.
Do you hear that, Andy? Steven says your job is worthless.
No, teachers are very important. Don't misconstruct what I'm saying.
It's worthless. It's easy.
What grade is Andy teaching?
I think elementary.
That's very hard. You know how many little kids I want to punch in the mouth every day?
Well, Steven, you're just not a...
I'm very good with kids, actually, Zane. I am very good with kids, yes.
I've never seen you around children.
Yeah. Because if I don't have to, I'm not going to be around them. But I'm very good. It's called here's this thing, Zane. As a award winner, you should know this. I'm a very good actor. Also because I have younger cousins and stuff, so I babysit a lot. So I've done those things. Yeah. It's another thing that's just like a hidden talent that people don't know, and it really wows them when they see it in action. It's very easy. No, teachers are important, but it just grinds my gears when someone that works 8 months out of the year or 9 tells me, hey, you're going to have a rude awakening when you enter the real world. That shit pisses me off, Zane. And not a lot of things get me mad, but that shit gets me mad. It gets me boiled. It gets me steamy. So okay?
So I'm just recapping. It annoys you when teachers tell you that because they don't have to go... you're saying, in essence, that they don't really experience the real world that much?
Yeah. The things that they're describing, they don't experience.
Oh, the things that they're saying.
Yeah. So, like...
I mean, it's true.
I know it's true. That's why I'm saying it.
And it just annoys you that they say that only because they don't go through that? To you?
They don't go through it. So, it's basically like someone that's not qualified to speak about something just speaks about it all the time.
Well, I mean, so do you think that if someone did go through that at some point, and then now they're in a position where they don't have to go through that anymore,
yeah, but times are different.
That they can't talk about it anymore?
No, they can talk about it. This is the thing. Okay, think about like in our major, when people talk about how it is in the workforce, right? I don't know who you had for like MC 200.
Plattenberg.
Yeah, right? I don't know Plattenberg's background. I don't know how much of journalism she...
All I knew is that she got her master's or something like that, or a PhD from
But
LSU.
I don't know how much like news she worked, right? Mm-hmm. In my 200 class, I had Miss T, who's a producer. Fantastic. Probably the most realistic teacher I know. Your AP test, right? You had to actually study, no book, right?
We had like 500 words or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe not 500, but in the hundreds.
Ours were all open book, and here's why. Because when you're in the real world, you don't have to know them by heart. You know what you have in the real world that you can't use, but you have access to?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm just loving this right now.
A cellular device. Now, it might give you cancer. Hear me out. But with this cellular device, you know what you can do? Double check something and be right. Now, I don't know if you know this, Zane, because you might not be part of the real world.
Dude, Jay's going to love this episode.
But when you're part of the real world, you know what your employer wants from you?
Mostly just be there on time and do the work.
Be on time, do the work.
That's it.
And if you're going to do the work, do it the correct way, right? You know what employers hate the most?
Being
people
late.
Doing something.
Oh, okay.
No, you're already there on time. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Doing something, but doing it incorrectly because, hey, one, you were lazy enough and you didn't want to check your work, or two, ask them how to do it the right way. Crazy.
Yeah. A lot of people are afraid to ask you to, like a higher up or whatever, to do something wrong.
Easiest thing to do.
But that's the proper thing to do. There's nothing wrong with asking,
I'll tell you this right now. Anytime that an employee asks a boss, it doesn't matter how many times they do it, they would much rather have somebody ask them the same question so they do it right the first time than mess up and you have to go back and fix it for them.
Yeah, because I imagine that most bosses would be happy that their employee is at least conscientious enough to bring it to them.
Yeah. But in school, you can't use your phone, give you cancer. Sometimes when you ask questions, you just get ignored. But in the real world, Zane, let me tell you.
You really must have woken up on the wrong side of the bed today.
Zane, I'm just saying.
Or this has just been building up.
It has been building up, man.
We've talked about this before.
I hate it so much. The real world nonsense. It's the biggest load of horse dookie that I've ever seen or heard about in my entire life.
Also, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like you have so many, not volatile, but so many impassioned and enraged opinions about things, we could make like multiple episodes just on you ranting the whole time.
Probably, Zane.
And I would love every minute of it.
I'm just saying. Now, I don't consider myself crazy, and I don't think this is a crazy idea. All I'm saying is, and here's another point, right? Teachers like to go on about how every student is different, you know?
Are you talking about in regards to just a character?
The real world, quote unquote, the real world.
Well, you didn't let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, do you mean in terms of relating to their character or their learning ability or what?
All of those.
Okay. All two of them.
Well, I mean, also like race, what their history, background is, what they do.
Okay.
Guess what? Some of those people are part of this magical thing called the real world already.
I'm sorry, I just kind of squished one of my balls.
Nice. Isn't that always a fun time? Not really. Yeah, Zane. But I hate that so much. It's only convenient for them to think about the people that have it easy, not the people part of the real world.
Okay.
I hate that. I hate that saying so much, Zane.
I can tell.
It enrages me.
And I'm sure our audience can tell if they've been listening.
Oh, I bet. They're probably like gonna skip ahead and see what happened else. But like,
no, they're probably gonna be like, okay, still ranting.
Zane, let me
ranting.
tell you, right? Okay. An hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, it just stopped just now?
Yeah. Okay, we're back. It cut us off at about an hour and 30 minutes and 58 seconds. But just real quick, Zane. Real quick. We'll continue where we left off. What's the is it dissect? Say it.
I think it's potato.
Potato, disinsect or whatever.
Disinfect.
I don't know. Cut it down.
Is it a tree?
Out the yeah. Basically, get to the nitty gritty of it. What is the real world? What is that? What is that, Zane?
I mean, that's like, to me, I think of that as a subjective, definition. I mean, because to me, I guess for me, the real world is just, I don't know.
Yeah, you know why you don't know? Because it's bullshit. It's not a real thing, Zane. Okay? Now, I get it. There are some kids that have been privileged. They go to school for free and have mommy and daddy pay for them.
I guess for me, I would say
what
the real world is like being able to support yourself financially without having to lean on family or guardians or stuff like that.
Okay.
But to me, that's not really the real. That's just being a responsible adult.
So what you're saying is anybody that leans on certain people or things, right, aren't part of the real world.
I mean, you can still technically be part of the world and still have a job and be in the workforce and pay taxes and all that stuff. But
not if you're a student. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, okay. Continue.
I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. You can be in the job force, work, and be part of the real world, but
I guess for me, I'm just thinking of so for the real world, I don't know what the real world is.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking, because I just keep thinking when I try to come up with a definition for it, I just keep coming up with just certain definitions of like personal responsibility and being self-accountable.
So you're just a responsible adult. Is that what you're saying when you're part of the real world?
I guess.
You know how many people are responsible and are adults?
Not many.
Not many. Look at our government, okay? But they're not. This is what. Okay, so basically, in a teacher's mind, the people that tell me when you get to the real world, their only requirement of not being part of the real world is this. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong. Is you can't be a student. Because if you're a student, you're not part of the real world. And if you are a student, you have to at least be over the age of 25. And I'm only throwing out the age of 25 just because hopefully you're not at mom's and dad's, I guess. Or you're married and live with your wife. That's what I get. Because I don't understand at all what this real world nonsense is saying. And I guess you don't either. That's why it's That's why it's stupid. That's why it shouldn't be talked about. And that's why anytime somebody tells me I'll understand or I'll make sense when I get part of this real world, only makes me want to shoot myself and shoot them in the face. Okay, that's it. I mean, I just don't understand.
But Steven, how can you shoot them if you shoot yourself in the face first?
Oh, I'll be like 50 Cent. I'll stay alive just to shoot them and shoot myself again.
Long enough.
Mm-hmm. Zane, I just don't understand the real world.
Well, I'm not.
Maybe it's because I'm not part of it yet.
Okay.
Even though I am, but I'm not because that's what people tell me. This is why I really value people's opinions, Zane. As you can tell right now, that's why I'm so passionate about the topic. Should just spit all over the mic.
I'm just here watching it.
Zane, I just don't understand sometimes, you know? And I asked my good friend, the long-haired warrior, Zane Gray Wilson, what the answers are. Because you're a wise man. Okay?
I'm a man?
I mean, you're a man, but you're not part of the real world. Obviously. So, my question to you, Zane, is when do I become part of the real world? Is it the day I graduate? Now? Or have I been part of it?
No idea.
Or until somebody tells me, welcome to the real world. Because that's another thing that pisses me off.
That last part doesn't make any sense because anyone can say anything to you. It doesn't make sense. Someone comes up to you and say, hey, now you're in Wonderland. That doesn't mean anything.
I mean...
Someone could say, you're in the real world now. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nothing in my life has changed. Also, you're no authority figure to me, so you're just some random guy in the street. Go away.
Because I get that all the time from... I think my mom likes to say that a lot. But she's a stay-at-home mom, technically, right now. So that also infuriates me. When I have to go pay a bill, she goes, how do you like adulthood? I was like, Mom, I've been working since I was a sophomore in high school. Shut the fuck up.
Well,
stupid.
I guess one aspect of this that I can pull from your argument or your frustration that I can relate to is that I think about what you're saying more broadly as I just feel like lots of, I'll just say adults just because of their age gap between them and us, that a lot of adults don't treat young adults
with respect.
Well, as if they're young adults. They still think we're children or adolescents or we don't know anything. And to be fair, we can sound contradicting because we've talked about this before. We're like, oh yeah, adults think people like young people are stupid, but then we go ahead and say, oh, so many people are stupid. Both of those things can't be true. Most people aren't completely stupid or completely smart. Most people are like average. They go back and forth. But most to me, a lot of adults, not like my family and stuff like that. They just treat young adults like not crap, but just with no, like you said, no respect. Lessers, exactly. Because people always use the argument of they use the parent argument of well, when you question them, and you're like, well, why is X Y, and they just say, oh, just because.
Yeah, the because.
And they look at you like this. Oh, because. Oh, or they say, oh, because I'm the adult and you're the kid, you're wrong. That's why.
Zane, you know how much trouble I have with stuff like that? Zane, let me tell you, brother. I have the most trouble with stuff like that. And you know what the second thing? If you want to do an episode where I rant, our next episode, we can have a guest if you want.
This one, like halfway through, turned into that. So.
I know, but the next episode that we're gonna have a lovely chat. And it's going to be a fun one because it's going to be controversial. People are going to like it. Hopefully it records correctly because boy, oh boy, do I want it to. And we might have a guest. I'll let you figure it out after I say the topic, and you can figure out who you think would be a good guest, another person.
Okay.
I'm thinking Matthew Renna for it because we've had this conversation a lot.
Well, you want to talk about religion or something?
No, not religion. Something more passionate to me. Into you.
I thought you were going to say something more passionate to him. I was like, more passionate than that.
whether saying curse words are bad or if they're just, you guessed it, my friend, words.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to the bottom line of it, man. Why do people think curse words are bad? Why do people think when I say shit, it's a bad word versus just a synonym for poop?
Feces.
Ooh, feces. Why aren't those bad words? Why is shit a bad word and not dog poo?
It's not the word itself, it's the association
Okay.
of the word.
Okay, so I'm associating shit with poop. And I associate feces with poop. Okay, so feces is now a bad word, right? Or does shit in that context become a good word?
Okay, well,
These are the questions, Zane.
Well, because it just comes down to, yes, all language...
Are we going to save this, or are we going to...
Well, I just want to say this.
Oh, okay.
Yes, obviously, most people know, but probably most people don't think about it. But yes, all language is just a bunch of made-up stuff we just use to make life easier. It's just words. They don't mean anything. We give them meaning. And it's society that gives them that meaning.
Yeah.
And if society thinks it's wrong, whether it actually is or not, there are still actual repercussions of it, and you can't stop that most of the time.
So what we're going to do on this podcast, next episode, not only are we going to get to the bottom line, even though you had a very good point right there. It is society that says what's right or wrong. We're single-handedly, us two, maybe our guests, you and me, we're going to change the world's thinking of cuss words. And we're going to get down to it. And we're going to make people understand that all of them are okay to say. There isn't a single curse word that isn't okay to say. And I'm not saying swearing is okay. Swearing and cursing are different. Taking the Lord's name in vain is different than just saying damn it. Okay? Okay, I just want to let you know. Okay? Just want to let you know. No religion part of it. Cursing's not bad. Swearing, taking the Lord's name in vain, you can say that's bad. That's what you believe. We might have atheists that listen to this podcast.
You believe that saying that cursing is bad. That's the same argument for swearing and cursing. Also, I don't understand. I thought those were the same thing. What's the difference between cursing and swearing?
Yeah, they might be the same. I could be wrong on that.
Okay.
But basically, cussing, which isn't cursing, I guess. Is that right?
I don't know.
Or they're all synonyms?
I don't know the technical definition of cursing and swearing.
Okay. Bad words aren't bad words. Okay, that's how we're going to label it. Bad words are not bad words, and we're going to get to the bottom of it.
That sounds so, childish to put it like that.
Well, how do you want me to put it, Zane?
I don't know.
Do you want me to just list all the words? Reasons why
I think
you should be able to say blah, 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 blah.
Well, we can talk about that. I think for the title, maybe you should wait until after we record this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because you're a little heated right now.
I'm saying I'm not heated. Okay?
You're right. This is your normal state.
This is my...
You just hide it most of the time.
Listen.
I can tell. I've known you for a while.
I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm not even annoyed. Honestly, I'm disappointed with the people that I have in my life that tell me when I get to the real world and saying bad words.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to be serious right now, but I'm just kidding.
Zane, it's fine. It's funny. It is funny.
No, it's just funny seeing you like this.
It's just, I mean, all I'm saying,
because you're so frustrated about it.
Listen, I'm not frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
And because of that disappointment, you get frustrated.
I guess. I'm just, you get where I'm coming from, as in, you have all these people that are supposed to be leading figures in your life. They're supposed to give you knowledge, teach you logic. And then, when you ask a logical question and you try to find an answer, they hit you with, because I said so. That's it, Zane. That's it. I don't understand. I'm never going to kill myself. I wouldn't say strong enough, because to kill yourself, you're not strong. You're kind of like a bitch.
Well, that's an opinion.
I mean, No, that's not that one is completely true. If you kill yourself, you are a bitch. Okay, and here's
No,
why.
that's still technically an opinion.
Okay, I'm just saying. Think about it in the form of bullying, right? If I bullied you, Zane, to the point where you killed yourself,
Okay.
never would happen, right? Because you're not a little bitch. But imagine if that's all I called you every single day. And then finally, you were tired of it, so you said, I'm going to kill myself. That will really show Steven. First off, the only thing that's going to show me is that I was right. Because you're a little bitch, so you killed yourself. That doesn't make any sense to me.
That wasn't going where I thought I was going, but I must say, you were definitely in the minority on that opinion.
Probably, Zane. I'm probably in a minority of a lot of opinions. Probably a lot. But here's the thing. I don't understand suicide at all.
Well, I mean,
not one bit.
To be fair, we complain about stuff, or we get annoyed with things in our lives. Our lives are so fucking great compared to...
Oh, yeah, our lives are great. I'm very grateful for everything in my life. But let me tell you, there's still things that, do they grind my gears, man. And that's not going to change.
Yeah, and that's me saying that isn't trying to say that you can't have those.
Oh no, I
feel that way.
Absolutely.
I guess I'm just trying to say, always just keep that in mind. I guess.
I keep it in mind, man. I get it. Our lives are fantastic compared to a lot of people. Now, but compared to a lot of people, also on the flip side, half full, half empty. Our lives suck compared to a lot of people.
I mean, I guess what else I was trying to say is just that everyone has their own problems.
Yeah, everybody does.
No matter how big or little they are, everyone's supposed to deal with stuff.
I agree. Everybody has problems. But you know what, Zane? Everybody can find solutions. It's true. Everybody can find a solution.
All right.
To all problems. Well, just find a good friend like Zane.
I know you're not actually sad, but your nose is stuffed up right now, and the way you're saying that, and you're sniffling because of your runny nose, it sounded like you're about to cry.
I just cry like on set, like I just like make myself cry. I'm like, Zane, I just want.
You're doing something like this. I'm like, you chopping a little onion in your hair? No, I'm not.
I'm just like, Zane. God damn it. I'm just like, just a true friend, Zane. You listening to me rant. Caring, really listening, but also not listening because I don't know if you care or not. But you're there, just being across the table from me.
I'm not just like zoning out. It's not like Peanuts where I'm just sitting here like this, and then to me it's just like womp 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 womp. I'm just like, oh, pizza.
I think pizza. I think that's next episode. I think that would be a good topic.
Okay.
Bad words. Bless me. Do it, Zane. Bless me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I feel so much.
Tight.
I feel so much better now. Man, oh man.
Well, I guess we'll stop there for today.
Yeah.
This is probably our longest episode we've done.
This is definitely the longest episode. It's
if we were able to upload all of it,
But yeah, fingers crossed we upload it because it's a killer episode. It's about an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah, the first half was about typical podcast stuff, and then
the second half
into.
Hey, listen. That's what happens when you're part of the real world, Zane. You got some hot takes. But just like the real world, opinions are opinions. Truths are not truths. And at the end of the day, nobody cares.
All right.
Hey, they just flash Momentum UM on our screen. I hope that doesn't go on the live feed, or I'm going to be mad. You think they were listening to us in that room, by the way? I didn't stop recording yet. Possibly? Ooh, well, let me tell you what, brother. Some hot takes.
All right, well, we hope if you listened all the way through, or if you listened to a part of it, that you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that it gives you some food for thought, or at least Steven gave you some food for thought.
And listen, if I offended you, hurt your feelings, made you feel bad, or any of those, or any other things that I'm leaving out, I just want to let you know, from the bottom of my heart, I honestly don't care, because it's my opinion. And at the end of the day, it's my opinion. So be an adult. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Okay, well, I guess that's a good place as any to where to end it. So,
all right. Well, we love you guys.